Good afternoon. This is Sunshine Reports. My name is Timile Falade. The Bishop of the Catholic Diocese of Ondo, Most Reverend Jude Arogundade, has commended the State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu for taking it upon himself to bring consolation to the people of Owo, the Catholic Church, and the families affected by last year's tragic massacre. Bishop Arogundade expressed his astonishment at Governor Akeredelu's unwavering determination to go to any lengths, even risking his position, to seek justice for the victims and families of the June 5 terrorist attack on the Catholic Church. He made the remarks during the rededication ceremony of St. Francis Catholic Church in Owaluwa, Owo, as part of a week-long series of activities commemorating the one-year anniversary of a massacre that claimed the lives of 41 church worshippers and left several others injured. During the ceremony, the Owo Terrorist Attack Relief Fund Management Committee of the state government presented more cash palliatives to the victims and the families of the deceased, further assisting them and alleviating the effects of the barbaric attack. The bishop, while appealing for continued support and prayers for the governor, praised the governor for the establishment of a magnificent memorial park which demonstrates the state's recognition of the value and sanctity of human life. The Ondo State government has urged parents and other stakeholders to support the recently introduced Education Endowment Levy for the development of the education sector of the state. It was gathered that the government introduced the endowment fund with every taxable adult to pay an annual levy of a sum of 1,000 naira to enhance the development of the education sector of the state. Speaking of the development at a sensitization campaign for the scheme in Akure, the State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Femi Agagu, explained that the endowment fund would assist the state in providing basic infrastructure and meeting other exigencies in public schools across the state. The sensitization campaign, which kicked off with a road show in Akure, was organized by the State Ministry of Education, Science and Technology in conjunction with the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service. According to the Commissioner, the fund became imperative to enable the state government tackle the infrastructural deficit in the education sector and provide basic essential materials for its public schools and institutions. 5 days to the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly, President Bola Tinubu's meeting with lawmakers-elect failed to resolve a crisis over the All Progressives Congress zoning arrangements. The APC National Working Committee had microzoned the Senate President and the Deputy Senate President seats to Senator Godswill Akpabio from South-South and Senator Jibrin Barau from North-West. But other aspirants like Senators Abdulaziz Yari, Zamfara West, Osita Izunaso, Imo West, and Orji Kalu Abia North have insisted that they would not step down for the party's consensus candidate. In the House, the APC leadership had also endorsed the member-elect representing Kaduna Northwest, Tajuddin Abbas, as speakership candidate, while the member-elect from Abia State Southeast, Benjamin Kalu, clinched the deputy speaker's slot. The aspirants, who were among the lawmakers who held a meeting with the president at the Aso Villa, Abuja, were still lobbying their colleagues and strategizing to obtain the APC zoning arrangements for the NAS principal positions. The National Youth Council of Nigeria Lagos State Chapter has urged President Bola Tinubu and the Governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, to include the youths in the government. The President of the Council, Bilamin Oba, made the appeal in a statement made available while congratulating Tinubu, Sanwo-Olu, his deputy, Dr. Bafemi Amzad, and the Speaker of the 10th Assembly, Right Honorable Mudashiru Basa, of the emergence of the various leadership seats. Nigeria is a nation of over 200 million people with about 200,000 kilometers of road. These roads are the most important means of transportation in the country, responsible for the movement of about 80% of the country's population and goods from one location to another. The road network is often overcrowded with drivers that lack education and basic driving skills, fueling a surge in number of road crashes and fatalities. In this report, Joy Pius takes a look at some ethical road use values and the impact of the Federal Road Safety Corps (FRSC) to return the eroding values to Nigerian roads.
Globally, over 1.3 million lives are lost on the roads annually, and in Nigeria, about 40 million deaths are registered from road carnages, a disturbing record begging for efficient administration and management of the roads. As of fourth quarter of 2021, speed violations led to over 2,000 road crashes in Nigeria, while sign or light violations caused 312 accidents. Wrongful overtaking accounted for 287 of the mishaps. Dangerous driving was to blame for 275 accidents. Tire bursts caused 164, among other reasons. Despite these staggering figures, disregard for traffic rules remains unabated, raising questions about the effectiveness of road safety operatives. What began as a civil organization set up by Professor Wole Soyinka in Oyo State metamorphosed into the Federal Road Safety Commission (FRSC) in 1988, and now it is known and referred to as the Federal Road Safety Corps. The initial mandate is to prevent or minimize accidents on the highway, clear obstructions, and educate drivers, motorists, and other members of the public on the proper use of the highways. The alarming rate of unethical road use and eroding values on the road is raising serious concerns that perhaps the FRSC is not doing enough to checkmate the excesses of road users in terms of overtaking from the right side, the use of headphones by drivers and motorcyclists while driving, and other acts of recklessness.
Around here, we don't normally used to obey rules. Likewise, you can play sand, but you don't earpiece. Putting earpiece into your two ears are not allowed. Then overtaking from the right hand side is highly prohibited.
When you call yourself a driver, you must know the road sign. When you know the road sign, you will know how to control your motor in major road. But some people are driving in major road without knowing all this road sign. That is why it causes the accident. But when you just ask them to pay, they pay to government coffers and they still go ahead driving around with the tires. To remove the tire, give them the correct one, they will pay. Then if they are paying, they still pay total to the government.
How effective is the FRSC at enforcing and punishing violators of road regulations, if one may ask? Mr. Ezekiel Sonanla is the commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, Ondo State.
So sometimes you see people, even in the midst of oncoming traffic, they want to overtake. By so doing, you are risking your own life, like I said, and then you are risking the lives of other road users. And people that does that, if they are arrested, we impound them directly to the office here. I want to appeal to our motorists, please don't use phone while driving. Park and receive your code.
Worrisome also is the rate of vehicles with faded number plates plying the roads, with serious implications on the security of citizens.
I want the general public to understand that you cannot see such numbers in our database. So if anything happens, peradventure such a vehicle is stolen, it will be difficult to recover it. And so you must ensure that if your vehicle is using old number plate, I want to appeal to the motoring public that they must go to the MLA, Board of Internal Revenue, and ensure that the vehicle has the new number plate, not old number plate.
Statistics revealed that out of the leading causes of road accidents in Nigeria in the fourth quarter of 2021, bad road was only responsible for 50 accidents, compared to speed violations, sign or light violations, and wrongful overtaking, with cumulative alarming figure of 3,539. The disturbing revelations indicated that unethical practices on Nigerian roads manifested in irresponsive and irresponsible actions of individuals must be tackled headlong if Nigeria is determined to reduce the rate of carnages on its roads. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
Couples have been enjoined to make God the foundation of their home and be faithful to each other for a successful marriage. Reverend Toby Ayoloto gave the advice at a special Thanksgiving service to celebrate the 40th wedding anniversary between Chief Olushola and Dr. Mrs. Daisioke, held at the Church of Christ, Igbokoda, in Okitipupa local government area. Osrc's Autobot Jim now reports.
It was a moment of joy as family, friends, political associates, and well-wishers converged on the church to celebrate with Chief Olushola and his wife, Dr. Daisioke, for marking their 40th wedding anniversary. In his sermon, the officiating minister, Reverend Toby Ayolotu, who attributed the high rates of broken homes to many issues such as lack of trust, admonished couples to see themselves as one and always be prayerful. He stressed that marriage is all about challenges that must be surmounted. Ayolotu encouraged the celebrants to continue to put God first in their home while saying it is the only way to sustain matrimony.
The best thing you can do for Shibuke now is to take some time in your privacy to pray for him.
Prayers were then said for the couple, Governor Akredolu, and the continued progress of the state.
Father, in the name of Jesus, by your mercy,
Chief Olushola an APC chieftain, and wife Dr. Daisioke, who thank God for the journey so far, said the trust they have in each other is the reason for their peaceful home and a long-lasting relationship.
In times of enablement, I think God has been very gracious to us. So what we need to do as from this moment is to dedicate our lives to service to God Almighty and to humanity. And that's why my aspiration at this time is to be in a position where I can serve humanity effectively. That's my aspiration.
Because I believe that the man is the head of the home. As long as it's better for the man, it's also good for other parts of the body. So the major secret is the Lord. And I'm so happy that this marriage is blessed. It's blessed.
They advised young couples to understand and be happy with each other, saying love in matrimony can only remain evergreen if couples choose to keep away third party and avoid unnecessary interference in their relationship. Children, including Toluoke, wished the couple many more years together.
I wish them more glorious years together. I pray that this union stands the test of time, irrespective of the travails of life, irrespective of the challenges. I wish them a happy and long-lasting marriage, just as is the case.
At the reception, guests including the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Banji Ajaka, Assembly Member representing Ilaje Constituency 2, Oluwumi Fayemi, while congratulating the couple, admitted that it is a challenge to them and the younger couples. They encouraged them to continue to make Christ the head of their home.
Even a child of 40 years is a grandmother today. So God gave them the grace of 40 years. It's I think, glory. We decide to give glory and adoration to God. And if they are celebrating, it's more than that.
I must say this is a challenge to most of us who are new in the marriage business. I call marriage a business, to keep up with what we do with our spouses. No matter the challenges we go through in life, we just have to have something that we call a cordial relationship, friendship and communication to be able to eat this mark.
Highlight of the event was the cutting of the wedding anniversary cake, while the couple entertained the guests with their dancing steps. Autobots Gym. Osrc News.
And that's a package and Sunshine Reports. Thank you for watching. I am Similaine Faladi.